2020 iPhone 12 mock-up stuff going on, as you'd expect, as it starts to roll out, leak out, mock up, all those words. That's what happens when, well, it happens around iPhones in general, and it seems to me we're mapping further and further out now, where it's like, you know about the 2023 phone.
Yeah.
You know, you got to buy two of them before you get there. You're aware.
Mm-hmm.
You know what they're working on. And it matters to a certain extent because you try to manage your funds. You decide when you want to upgrade. And if you're a Wall Street type like yourself,
yes,
you also try to project who's going to win, who's going to be the company down the road doing the things.
Stocks.
That the customers want, selling the products.
Yeah. You and I talked about the Microsoft event where they showcased the Neo, right? Like some sort of futuristic projection of what where they're going.
Right.
Do you think Apple may be leaking some
of
their own stuff?
Talking about an Apple Neo?
Yeah.
Apple Matrix?
Yeah. In 2023.
Apple Keanu? In 2020? No, that's not what it is. Instead, it's an iPhone that looks a lot like the last iPhone, but with an interesting feature. So there's some speculation here on SlashGear, amongst other places, that this upcoming 2020 iPhone might actually be capable of charging and housing an Apple Pencil. How weird is that? So maybe the big one, if you scroll down on this particular article, well, first of all, it says pretty much everything is the same. The mock-up, the 3D mock-up, is a little more narrow and a little taller than the current generation iPhone. Will's got the video here. This info comes by the way of Mako Takara, which, I mean, Mac Otakara. I mean, you just maybe give that one a shot there, Will, just for us. For our viewing pleasure here, give that one a shot.
makotakara.jp.
Nicely done. Yeah. Nicely done. I mean, I came here for that.
Yeah.
And I feel like the show, it was now a worthwhile thing to do this show because you brought that with you. So they do the thing with the measurements and you have the rulers. You bring the rulers out. I've done this before. I've done these videos before. Maybe I'll even order one of these 3D printed mock-ups. And so anyway, the dimensions are pretty much identical to what we've got with the previous model. Like I said, bit taller, a bit more narrow, and a bit thinner. Now, interestingly, it also looks kind of more squared off, but that could change in the eventual product. But yeah, thinner. A bit of a weird situation there with the thinness because so many tech enthusiasts were happy about the current generation Pro models and how they focused on battery life. And they actually got a bit fatter in order to accommodate this improvement in battery life. And a lot of people loved that. They said, that's what we wanted. You listened. You didn't just always make it thinner. So who knows, maybe there's some advancement in battery tech so they can maintain the same battery figure, or power management, or maybe the new chip that they're working with is more efficient. But this mock-up is looking a tiny bit thinner to the tune of 1 millimeter. But that's the most important part, is that they're speculating there's going to be a magnetic connector on the side, similar to the iPad Pro, that will be a spot to dock a pencil. Now, granted, you can see looking at it, it's far smaller than the iPad version of that same cutout, magnetic cutout. So maybe it's a shot at the Galaxy Note. Well, the Note series, and it will be a smaller little pencil, like a stylus. And they'll sell it in the store as an accessory.
No.
Because you need a pencil to go with your dongles and whatnot.
No.
And yes, and you'll pay $199 for the mini pencil. Wow. And Apple will sell you things in 2020.
They sure will.
You will buy them, they will sell them. So it's a curious thought. It's an odd, on the iPad, it kind of makes sense because the way you carry it, there's a lot of space there. It's a strong magnet. Phones you put in your pocket. It's kind of weird. Do they expect you? Obviously, in the case of the Note, you have a little channel that you slide the stylus into. The S Pen, don't you dare try to call it a stylus if you're in the Samsung HQ. I'm just warning you in advance. Yeah. It's an S Pen, dude.
Yeah. They're like, get out of the building.
So maybe there's a new name for this one, too. Maybe it's not the Apple Pencil anymore. Maybe it's the A Pen. That's not going to happen. Pencil Mini. I don't know but you're not going to want to put it in your pocket probably while it's charging. It's going to be more of a thing where you just charge it up, but then where do you keep it when it's not? It's all very strange. Maybe it's just an experiment for the purpose of the mock-up. We don't know. It's just a mock-up. That's how these stories operate, but it's interesting nonetheless. And I presume there's some individuals that like the idea of using a pencil or stylus-style input, particularly on a large screen device like a Pro Max. Because you're a Pro, it's a Max, you get to have a stylus.
Yep.
That's how it works. Steve Jobs would not be happy. Probably.
No.
Possibly.
He likes the fingers.
He was not big on the stylus thing, but I feel like I watched something recently that was stating he didn't really mean it like that. It was just the way styluses were at that point in time. More specifically, if you tried one today, if you tried an Apple Pencil today, you might love it. Yeah. So it's not really it's not a direct one-to-one. Times change. Times change, Will. And we're almost running out of 2019, just to be clear.